I want to tell you about Victor Falkenau, one of the former citizens of Altadena. He was born in New Jersey in 1859. He was raised on the East Coast. After college, he went to New York City and joined a large construction firm. And that's where he learned his trade. In 1880s, he went to Chicago. That's where he founded his own firm, the Falkenau Construction Company. And there, he built large houses. He also built skyscrapers. One was the Chicago Stock Exchange, and the other one was a building that's still there now, and that is the Congress Hotel. In 1906, he was asked to help out with building a whole city. The United States Steel Corporation wanted to build their main plant, and they decided to build it where Gary, Indiana is today. In fact, that's the city they built. So he built large buildings there, like the factory. He also built the hospital, and he built office buildings, and he built 250 houses to house the workers that would go there. When Victor retired, he and his wife went traveling. One of the places they really fell in love with was Altadena. And in 1920, they bought this beautiful home. This was a Hiram Wadsworth house. They became very active in civic affairs, both in Pasadena and in Altadena. The Altadena Citizens Association is one of the civic groups that he joined. He was very good because he knew what he had done in the past. He knew houses, he knew buildings, but he also knew lights. Mr. Falkenau took a great interest in Christmas Tree Lane, and he thought it would sure look nice if we had stars to go across in between the trees. So he decided to design and build the Stars of Bethlehem to go on the lane. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Bethlehem is the city of David. And so, of course, he used the Star of David. And this added a lot to the lane. He even made it right here in his backyard. He was the first to suggest that Altadena get some street lighting for safety issues. So he suggested that to the Altadena Citizens Association. And guess what? He became the chairman. He worked diligently with his committee. And after all, a man who's built a city and has over 30 years of lighting experience really knows what he's talking about. There were a lot of naysayers in Altadena, of course, and they said, we don't want street lights. And he said, it's really important because cars are crashing, people are falling at night, getting hurt. They had many committee meetings. In fact, they decided to look all over the United States for the best lighting for Altadena. Some people said, we want it to be very non-glaring. It can be bright, but not in our eyes. Others said, we don't want this to cost a lot because it's very expensive to light our streets, so it can't cost any more than it currently does. Well, leave it to Victor. He found the perfect bulbs. And he also wanted to make sure that other people understood the top three. So he invited Walter D.R.C. Ryan, the inventor of the light that was chosen as best, to come and talk to the people of Altadena and answer questions. They had done a test case for the top three light bulbs. One of them was on Santa Rosa, and that happened to be the one that we chose. It had to be suspended over the top of Santa Rosa because of the trees, but it was so good that they could have the lights 600 feet apart instead of just 150 like the current light on the main street was. Victor was very conscientious, and he really wanted to make sure that these lights worked well. So after they purchased 267 of the bulbs, he made sure every other night to go walking and make sure that every single one of them was working. That's dedication. One night when he was walking, he ran across a group of unhappy citizens, and he asked, what seems to be the problem? And they said, we don't want these streetlights. We're tired of this. If we wanted streetlights, we would have moved to Pasadena. We want Altadena to be natural and undeveloped. Well, he was pretty good with people, and he realized that he just needed to walk away, so that's what he did. And within a few days, an article came out in the newspaper that said, and I quote, "Realtors agree that not a penny less than $1 million has been added to the value of Altadena properties because of the lights." Suddenly, there was no more complaining. So we credit him with adding beauty to Christmas Tree Lane and also making Altadena a better place to live.